Right, it is November the 9th, about 9:30 in the morning. Beautiful blue sky. I've had a really mild week. We've still got another mild week to go. Certainly no sign of any frost yet. That's been sort of double figures even at night, 17 during the day. Very pleasant for this time of year. We can almost see, well, we can see the moon still in the sky. I have been moving some plants about. I've more or less got everything, all the sort of tender plants under cover wherever they want to go. Today we're going to look at some of the palms. So I've done video a couple of weeks ago on the tropical palms that went in the house and the setup there. So we're going to look at some of the more cold, certainly not cold hardy, but sort of half hardy palms, and maybe hardy palms that are small which will need a little protection, and looking at a couple of the different ways I do that. So we've got the Nico palm here, Rhopalostylus sapida. Done very well this year, starting to put on some size, getting some big leaves out of this now. It is still in a pot. Maybe one day I'll try it in the ground when it gets a bit bigger, but I have lost a couple in the past, so I'm no rush to get this into the ground, but maybe one day. I've got a lot of small trachycarpus here which I haven't actually weeded yet, so there's sort of grasses and all sorts growing, and these are all cross waggies fortunei. But we're going to look at the smaller palms we've got in the hothouse first, and that's a little bit of a contradiction because it's not hot this time of year. I don't heat it. It is kept frost free, but it's certainly not heated. But we've got some small palms in here, so the palms in here are going to be more of a damp tolerant palms. So we're looking at the sabals and the trackies, different types, just palms that will take higher humidity in the cold, and then we'll look at some of the palms which will take the cold but want to be kept drier. So at the minute it's about 12 degrees in here, so it's certainly not warm. I mean, the sun's coming out, it's sort of now. I mean, we can see there's condensation here. The sun will now start to hit this, that'll warm up, but not to any major extent. It doesn't get enough full sun during the winter, and you get sun from the front windows or doors, so it's not heating up like you expect a greenhouse to heat up at this. Takes the chill off a bit. But anyway, so we can expect temperatures in here over winter on a sunny day, 10, 12 degrees. And like I say, it won't fall below freezing here, so we'll keep it about 2 or 3 degrees minimum. This is all Celsius, obviously. Right, so let's have a look at some of the trackies. So these are all still quite small. So like the one outside, or the several I've got outside, this is a waggy cross fortunei. We've also got a couple of latisectus, so it's these ones here with the wider leaves. Got 2 of them. We've got a tequil here, so it's already got a bit of nice silvering underneath the bottom. Let me see if I can find the tags on something. So we've got a Euclahensis there, and this one is the Martianus Nepal. So again, not as hardy as Trachycarpus fortunei, but especially as they're small plants. until they go in the garden. They're going to be in here over winter, just to keep them slightly frost free. Oh yeah, we have got a couple of little tiny Princeps cross Fortunae there as well, very small seedlings. So we've got a few of the sabals here, different types. Got sable palmetto here. This is my best, fastest growing one, which is sort of done really well. A lot of the others are, I've got some more in my little greenhouse as well. Sable palmetto, which I grew from seed, and they're quite a bit behind this one. This is definitely the fastest growing one I've got. So we've got lots of little tiny sables here. So again, they've got some hardiness to them, but they definitely don't want to be out in a UK winter when they're this small little seedling size. So we have got a couple of little standard sable minor there. No specific regionality on them. Got a couple of sable Mexicana there, so they're sort of quite blue. We've got a sable, just double check that is Bermondana. Got one in the ground outside as well. And we've got a little tray here of sort of lots of different types. So we've got Dominensis, Cherokee, Etonia, Carcierum, Miamiensis. Yeah, just lots of different types there. So we've got lots to try. See the growth rates. Obviously, all very small seedlings at the moment. So I will do a full tour one day of the hothouse, because things are starting to slowly go over, and we've still got a lot of big plants in here which is still doing well. But yeah, that's the video for another day. We're just gonna look at the palms at the moment. So this is the palms I've got, which tend to, like I say, tolerate higher humidity when it's cold. And I've got a couple of special ones here. I don't think I've mentioned these on any videos yet. Don't look much at the moment, but they're a very close relative to the Nico palm I've got outside, which again will come in here eventually when it gets cold enough. So this is Rhodopolystylus barrii, very similar to Cepeda, but my understanding is it's considerably faster growing and a fraction more cold hardy. So, and saying that, the standard Nico palm we just looked at outside grew pretty quick this year, to be fair. So hopefully these little ones will put on some growth pretty sharpish. So we've got a couple of them, so they're quite interesting. Right, let's have a look. So there's going to be a lot of mess about at the moment, because obviously I'm moving things about and then had a chance to tidy up. But you can see when I say humidity, because obviously during the day it warms up a bit in the hothouse, so you get condensation, you know, sealing condensates, drips down. So I don't water anything in the hothouse over winter. It's just natural recycling of the water in there, which, you know, I stopped watering there, stopped watering the misting system and watering any plants in there a good month ago. There's just enough enclosed environment, like a little terrarium, if you like. You know, the water just recycles around, it condensates, drips down onto the plants and continues that cycle. So that's quite a damp environment, so it's not the best for stuff that you want to keep dry. Right, so again, past all the mess, We've got a little tiny greenhouse here, which I'm now gonna open the door. So I haven't got much in here, but I have got stuff which will take the cold, but just wants to be a little bit drier. So we've got a few palms here. So this is, someone did ask me, I've done a video a couple of years ago maybe on some palm germinations of what was it, the Mexican blue Braheo. So the seeds that I germinated, this is what they look like now. So they're not huge plants, and that was like 2 years ago, but I have probably let these dry out a bit too much. At one point they looked really rough, but they've started to come back now. I started watering them properly during the summer. Yeah, they don't look too bad a nick, just quite small. But yeah, they're the ones that I germinated 2 years ago, and that's what they look like now. That goes the same for these. I think these were germinated at the same time. These are Folifera, Washingtonia Folifera, and again, I let these dry out. These are practically dead, and I've started watering. Well, I stopped watering now, but I started watering them again properly during the summer, and they're sort of come back to life, but not looking brilliant. We've got a little Jabea chilensis, that's the blue form. So this is one obviously I've got, can't remember if I got it this year or last year, but obviously Jabeas at this size are quite small, but hopefully that should show a nice blue coloration as it gets bigger. I've still got a lot of sabals in here. So these are all the sabal palmetto, which I grew from seed. Yeah, again the same time as the Braheo and the Washingtonia Folifera there. So these have done pretty well. I know I've got a lot of the other ones in the hothouse, but I'm going to keep some in here as well. Don't put your eggs all in one basket, as it were. But I just make sure these don't dry out. The other smaller palms that they'll take pretty much dry all winter, but the sabals do want a little bit of moisture to keep them going. But yeah, they're doing pretty well considering they're supposed to be slow growing. I'd say for 2 years, some of these are, you know, even starting to get the split leaves, and yeah, look, nice little plants. Obviously we've got a lot of Aeomians and other cacti succulent things in there, so just a little overflow really in that one. So the main stuff I want to keep dry and cool are in the summer house down the bottom of the garden, but I have still got a few things to put in there. So I've got a Phoenix Dectalifera there, edible date palm grown from seed. I've got a Phoenix Acolis, which is the trunkless dwarf Phoenix. Well, I say trunkless, it has got a trunk, but it's not, I mean, if you think dwarf or pygmy date palm, is a totally different Robellini. This is the Acolis, which is, they call it the trunkless one. And I have got a small Sylvestris robusta, so just a more robust form, as the name suggests, of the Sylvester silver date palm. And it is robust because I had a standard Sylvestris. These were both kept in the same conditions last year. The standard Sylvestris was bigger than this, spear pulled and died. This was a lot smaller and survived no problem. Right, so I have done most of the mulching now, which we covered in the last video, and pulled out some of the plants in this new raised bed here, which is just leaving the bare bones of like the palms, and when the cannas die down, they'll be cut right back to the ground and dug out next year because they're too big. This is supposed to be a palm bed, and we can't really see the palms, but as we're talking about sort of hardy palms, we'll just look at the sabals here. So we have got a Sabal Louisiana, some nice sort of blueness to it. This side we've got another sabal Mexicana, and I planted that before I got the big sabal Mexicana, but yeah, that's there anyway. And we've got a sabal Lisa here. This is sort of the mutant leaf sabal. So that's their first year out, planted out for winter, along with obviously the Livingstoners down the border here. These are first year fully out in the open in my UK tropical style garden. Yeah, so we've got 3 different types of Livingstoner here. We've got the Australis, Chinensis, and Decora. So we'll see how they do. Obviously I've got another Chinensis further down the garden which survives every year. Doesn't look brilliant, but it survives, and that's part of what I'm trying to do, is, you know, push the limits and see what we can grow. I mean, that's not for everyone. Some people want perfect looking plants. I just like to try. Again, here with the queen palm here, that's the first year that's planted out in the garden, so we'll see how that does. I've got another one. This is the Santa Catarina variant, so the higher sort of elevation variation, but yeah, the other one's been out for 2 years and survived and grown well, so there's no reason why this one shouldn't. I bought them both at the same time. This one is considerably smaller because it's been in a pot. I will bring in the sago. If I've got room, I'll get that in the summer house, which we're now going to look at. If not, I will squeeze it in the conservatory or something. Alright, so yeah, this time of year, long shadows, low sun, long shadows. This is definitely why I call this one the shade border, and this side the sunny border, because it's not so much in the summer, but in the winter this does get full sun, and this really doesn't get any sun at all in the winter. I mean, unless it's a really tall plant like the booty there. Right, so that is the other queen palm, the Santa Catarina variant. So that's been planted out for 2 years now. Let's have a little closer look before we go in the summer house. So this is the same size plant as the one we just looked at further down, but this has just been in the ground for 2 years, where the other one was kept in a pot, so that's the difference. Yeah, survives, pushes out 2 fronds a year. So when people say don't waste your time growing queen palms, if you've got a half sheltered or decent microclimate, they're worth a try. Hasn't really lost any leaves over winter, and yeah, you get a bit of brown tipping, but in general you gain 2 fronds a year. I think that's worth growing. Which sort of leads us on to this one. So this is like a relative of the queen palm here, Cyagrus coronata. So it's like got a silver, more of a silvery trunk and silver back to the leaves. I am pushing my luck with that one. I'll be very surprised if that survives, but this is actually my best microclimate in the garden here. This gets full sun all day during the winter. Well, I say that, I mean, other than the Canariensis blocking it sort of early morning like it is now, that will get, the trunk will get full sun, and yeah, we'll get some nice sun to the leaves there as well. Right, let's get back on track. So we're looking at sort of half-hardy palms and what I'm doing to protect them through the winter. So I've got some more queen palms here. So this is the Littoralis, or silver queen. I've got 3 of these. I think I got them last year. So a year and a half from a tiny little seedling, and these are now 3.5 foot. I think last year over winter I brought them in and put them in my grow tent, so I've not seen any proper cold yet. So now they're getting to a size where I think they can take a bit of cold. Obviously I don't want to shock them too much, so that they're going to go in the summer house here with a lot of other palms and succulents, so this will be nice and dry in here. That does, again, like the greenhouse effect, that warms up during the day, because we've obviously got windows and the doors at the front, and this gets south facing, so it gets full winter sun, so it does warm up. Again, not hugely. I mean, there's vents at the front and back, so it gets good airflow through, but that's, yeah, I was pointing at the wrong place, sorry. Vents front and back there, and so it gets airflow, but that doesn't really go below freezing in there at night because it's fairly well insulated. And yeah, during the day that'll warm up, not stupidly warm, because you don't want obviously massive temperature swings, but that warms up enough to for a nice bounce back temperature. So these are going to go in here along with everything else, but I'm still sort of sorting out where I want to place things in here, but we'll have a look regardless. So I've got all my fleeces and stuff lined up here, so I'm gonna have to sort through them and get them ready for when we do get a frost, which is looking like a good at least 3 or 4 weeks away. I don't know, things can change, but in general we're looking clear for at least the next couple of weeks. So we've got the cacti, we've got some agaves in here, aeoniums, lots of aeoniums, sort of some aloes, again some more yuccas and cacti. Well, saying that, the yuccas actually aren't in, I've still got some yuccas to come in as yet. Yeah, agaves, sago palms, got a couple of the bird of paradise in here, at the back there, and we've got a couple of big palms in here as well. This is the Booty odorata, which is just in a pot, so why not bring it in? And this is the big Cyagarus Romanzoffiana Santa Caterina, or just Queen Palm, Mountain Queen, let's just say that. So this is one I brought from a fellow local tropical enthusiastic gardener. Loves his tropical plants like I do, and I think he didn't want to sort of care for it over the winter anymore. And to be fair, this is a lot bigger than the ones we've seen in the garden, which have survived for me. That's the sort of size of the trunk. So this one day, if I do lose any of my other sort of borderline palms, and this is will be replacing. So it's always good to have some backups, and try something new. So again, I don't know many people who are growing queen palms in the UK. Like I say, I've got the full 3 different variations. We've got the silver queens. So again, I've not really seen anyone mention these growing outside in the UK. I know some people are doing the mountain form and the standard form, but yeah, we'll see. But so yeah, so this is very, very dry environment, slight bounce back temperature during the day, but still cool at night. I guess if we get very, very cold temperatures, this could drop below freezing, but again, because things are dry, not so much of a big deal. Right, yeah, so let's just finish up here. So we've got, this is the Booty Yeti. So this is now starting to get like the stained glass leaves there when they're not quite fully opened yet, and they're starting to go, as we can see. And there's actually double in here. There's a little one here. So this one I bought a couple of years ago, again from a very small seedling. It's just a matter of, you know, letting them grow, letting them harden up to the environment you want to grow them in. So yeah, one day again, this will be a maybe a replacement palm for something we lose one winter. Again, just constantly trying new things and constantly experimenting, really. And we've got a Butiagarus here. This is not an area spather version, this is a standard Butiagarus. Still really hard to get hold of in the UK, really hard. There's a handful of these available this year, so I bought one. That has slow start. I did repot it when it arrived, and nothing for the first couple of months, but it has pushed out a couple of leaves since, so we'll see how that one does. Again, just on the brink of getting a going pinnate there, but we don't expect too much growth obviously during the winter. So let's just try to make use of every space we've got. Obviously, if you've got a summer house or a shed which gets good light and you don't use it during the winter, why not chuck a load of plants in there? Yeah, so I have got some yuccas still to go in, and I'm talking about the less hardy ones, like the elephantites, sort of variegation types. So there's one there which I dug out. We've got a yucca jewel there, and they've got another type here which is slightly different variegation on that. Right, so it's feeling quite pleasant in that sun, but it's not as mild as it has been, let's put it that way. It's been quite almost warm this week, but a little bit cooler today, but with the sun that sort of makes up for it, because that has been a bit overcast this week, let's say. Mild but sort of dreary, bit of rain. Right, what we'll do is we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.